What's up, Rockstars? How's it going? Today, I'm going to tell you about the 5 worst games I have ever played. It's in my collection right now. That's not like Monopoly or something. Let's get started. Now, as always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that I am able to run this channel independently of the game studio, so I don't accept any money from any game dev, so that I can tell you exactly how I feel, point blank, not playing nice. I'm making these videos for you, not for them, not even for me. I would just play games and stuff otherwise. These videos are for you guys. It's definitely community driven. The entire setup I have right now, the fact that I have a table here right now and a shelf here full of games is thanks to them. So thank you so much to all of you that can support. If you can, there is a link down below to both those, and I greatly appreciate it. If not, though, that's fine too. Totally okay. Just a simple like, a comment, both of those things combined. The AI loves it. I love it. I love hearing from you guys. If nothing else, just to find out that this was entertaining or interesting or somehow, like, I hope in this video that you get to learn my tastes a bit more so that when I do reviews, you can keep that in mind and know what my bias is, because I'll be talking about the things I don't like. And so when you see that, you're like, oh, I bet he wouldn't like this, or, oh, he doesn't like that part of it, but I actually do, so that's fine. You can totally tell that, and you know that by me telling you my honest opinion and not my wallet's opinion. So that's why I run this thing independently the way I do. So appreciate all of your guys' support. And this is a work in progress, obviously. I don't know how the sound is right now. I'm hoping it's good. I might have to play around with it a little bit. I will figure out what's behind me, what needs to be here. For now, I got a table, and I'm like, you know what? I can be in my office and record a video at a table instead of just at my desk. I can show you some boxes more. This is actually going to lead into, and this is the last thing I'm going to say before I get into it. This is going to lead into me going through my entire catalog of games. Every game I own, I'll be talking about. I'll be talking about why it's in my, my gaming collection. I guess these are really collections, right? And how often I play. I'll be talking about each one. I don't know if I'll be doing 5 games each. 10 seems like I can talk a lot about a game. So 5 might be a good 20-minute video. I don't know. You guys let me know what you would like to see there. I don't know exactly how to break it down. I don't have a ton, but I have a ton. I mean, I don't have like 300. Like some of you guys are a lot have more storage options than I do. Or don't do all ins as much, or I don't know what. And that, yeah, you let me know what you want, okay? I can do a game and then all of the expansions and say why I got this expansion versus not. I can just do just the core game, not worry about expansions. I don't know. You let me know in the comments below. I will read them, I promise. And I'll make sure that that video series is right for you guys as best I can. Everybody wants different things. I'm going to start with a runner-up. Rising Sun. Now, why would somebody put such a beloved game on there? Well, because it's my list, not yours. And before I get into this, I'm not saying, I'm saying some of these games are bad. I'm not saying all of these games are bad, and it's just my opinion. I'm saying they're bad. You could say they're great. You might love Rising Sun, and that's okay. You loving it doesn't make me like it more, but me hating it shouldn't like you more. And actually, I don't necessarily hate it. It is why it's a runner-up. My issue with this, one of the things that taught me, because I love Blood Rage, one of my top games, if I did a top 10 all-time, Blood Rage would most likely be somewhere on there. There are other issues with the top 10, especially when it comes to the order of it, because it depends on the mood I'm in and what I've played recently. And like, if I played Blood Rage 15 times before that top 10, it ain't gonna be there. I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to play something else. But I played it 15 times. Is it maybe the most played game? That would be like Zombie. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean you can't love it, and that's okay. And you can disagree with my opinions. They're my opinions, so you disagreeing doesn't change my opinion. It's still my opinion, not yours, but whatever. What this taught me that I love being in more control over my options. So, for instance, I played a game where I wanted to move, right? So I wanted to use the move mandate and kind of move around, and didn't draw it. And my wife wasn't about to alliance with me, and it just... the act of drawing the mandates, so I can't just plan ahead and say, I want to move and go to war here and move my Shintos here and do, like, I can't make a plan because I can make a plan and it's, oh, I didn't get those options. I didn't like it. I don't like that. I'm like, well, why the heck am I making I'll just do a reactionary strategy. I'll get the 3 and, okay, what's the best option out of these 3 random things I can do? And that's no fun. Or 4, I forget how many you draw exactly. It's been a while, again. Also, the stretch goals on this were kind of weird. The stretch goals on a lot of games can be too much, especially with CMON. Right? Nobody actually needs 72 options of characters to play in the Zombicide. In fact, if you give somebody 72 options, you're going to spend an hour and a half picking characters, right? And so what they did here is they limited it by a season, so you essentially add, or like a pack, and you add like, okay, 2 in autumn, and whatever it might be. I still found that even with those, that a lot of times when people would actually recruit monsters, sometimes depending on the pack, if it added 3 or, whatever units in there, it could still take a while, and I didn't like okay, now I'm going to look over let's see, I could recruit that guy, or recruit that, like, I felt it a little slow. I didn't like that, like, in Blood Rage I could just move. Right here, I can't just move. And so when you see there's going to be a war there, and I happen to just be there, well, that's great. But if I didn't happen to be in any of the places like that, well, then it's like, well, now I gotta, I guess, try and move. Because, I mean, it just wasn't my cup of tea. But it is a runner-up, so I've already spent too long on that. As you can see, I can talk a lot about it. Component quality is great. Really like everything else about it. Painted a lot of the minis. But the drawing of the actions, and those are your limitations to actions, I did not like too much. And I tend to not to like semi-co-op anyway. And that ends up being kind of what that is. Okay, so now I'm going to go from most liked to least liked. So fast forward, I guess, if you want to see what I absolutely hate. Some of these are going to stay in my collection, some of them are not. I guess we'll start. Number 5 is definitely Aetherfields. Now, why would Aetherfields be on here when I backed it on? Well, because I'm an idiot. That's why. Too often, we back games all in on the assumption that we'll like it. I'm not one that I never if I'm thinking of selling a game, I'm not backing it. So when I backed this all in, I didn't think about selling it and recovering costs or anything like that. I just thought about playing it and enjoying it. My wife liked the theme. I liked the theme. I thought the idea of using dreams was a very smart way to be open-ended about what you could do, and you could do all sorts of different things in there. The reason it's on here isn't even so much that it's a simple game, though it's a very light game. It's not complex at all. The deck building is like baby's first deck building. The card play is like baby's first card. It's if you can play Magic the Gathering, you've played something 12 times as strategic or mechanically interesting as Aetherfields. Aetherfields, I describe it best as a walking simulator in a board game. So in a video game, a walking simulator is something where you just walk around and interact with things. So you just walk around and you lift up the note. You can turn it back. Oh, there's a secret note here. It says the codes, the safe codes. And you walk over to the safe code. You put in the safe code. You open it up, and it's a memento, a clock, or whatever. And that's all you do. You just walk around and explore things. That's what you do here. Just walk around and explore things. This is a narrative-driven campaign. However, it's done in a way, from what I've played, I have not beat it. It's done in a way where you don't know anything. So it kind of reminds me of... I don't know if you guys saw the movie Annihilation. It kind of reminds me of that. If you don't know, Annihilation is a movie where essentially you have no explanation or reasoning or whys about what's going on or any knowledge. Stuff's just happening, and a lot of it's cool, but you don't know. This is like if you wrote Lord of the Rings where Frodo was never told anything or knew anything. So just random stuff. Oh, look, there's elves, and now there's a troll, and then this is here, and there's something about a ring, and like, but there's no actual, like, to me that defeats the story part of it, for me. I like Lord of the Rings because I know that the one ring is evil, and we need to go destroy it, and we happen to have this ring, I guess, that might be good at some point, and oh, look, there's a thing there, and probably bad, we should probably run away. Okay, well, I guess we ran away from it. That doesn't do enough to draw me in, and that seems to be the problem with a lot of these narrative games. I had the same problem with Tainted Grail. I could probably have swapped it in here, though. I thought Tainted Grail had a lot more oomph in its mechanics than this. I dislike the how it's not super co-op when you spread out and you're doing different things and nobody's really talking to each other and it's not really a group experience anymore, but it's mechanically sound. This is just, there's nothing mechanically in here drawing me in at all. And so the only reason I'd play this is for the narrative. And the narrative is a book that has a story that's not explained, at least not for a long time, in which case it's just random stuff happening. That's why I compare it to Annihilation. Annihilation is like, there's a bear that's screaming like a person. Cool, I guess. And now that person's turning into a tree. Cool, I guess. Like, I don't know why anything's happening, but things happen, I guess. That's Aetherfields. That's why it's number 5. All right. Moving on. We have Forbidden Fortress. And really, this is the Shadows of Brimstone in general. I really like the minis, actually. I like the mini design. They're not the best quality ever. I have Warhammer right here to give me that. But they're pretty good. I don't like the storage because there is none, but whatever. I really liked the actual dungeon delving of this. I liked the staving away at the darkness, and drawing those cards and staying with the lantern bearer and doing all that kind of stuff. And conceptually, I love the idea of how many rules there are in this, where it's like, hey, do you want to go travel there? Well, did you rent a horse? Well, did you feed the horse? Well, is the horse yours or did you just rent it? Or will it go back? Or maybe you need a wagon, or how much are you carrying? Or... And I don't like that. And I always say that the moment you're making game mechanics out of physics, you're probably doing too much. If you don't know, you can throw some TNT, or in this case, I forget, a bomb or whatever, a grenade, essentially. And then it's like you roll, and then if it bounces off of a wall, then you roll again to see where it bounces off to, and you end up doing like 4 rolls just to throw a grenade. And I'm more of a streamlined kind of guy, where I just want to say, I want to throw it 3 spaces away, I gotta roll a 3 or higher, and then I'm done. I don't want to have this big old song and dance. I don't want a 4-minute ordeal on throwing a grenade. I just want to throw a grenade and explode things, preferably. Though that didn't actually earn its place here. What earned it, there's like dust on this. I have not played this in forever. What earned its place here at number 4 was the city phase. And I really need to look to see if there's a skippable version. I'm sure somebody has thought of a way to streamline that a bit more, and maybe there's just less you can do, but I feel you're at a disadvantage then. Essentially, it got to the point where, again, I liked the dungeon delving part of this, but then the city phase can take just as long. It's another play session, and I don't want to spend my Saturday in the city. Now, there are people who buy expansions, so you're playing more plays in the city. Now, more events happen. I don't want to go gambling, and it reminds me of, like, the most boring part of any, like, RPG. Like, if you're playing any game, whether it's Mass Effect, or The Witcher, or Final Fantasy, or any kind of RPG, where you can go in town and do some crappy mini games. That's the city phase here, but you earn gold doing that, and you get to trade different things. But then there's it was too much. It was too much, especially when it came to, like, I don't know. I just want to go from area to area, and like how Descent Second Edition does it, where you just draw a travel card. Like, just have me draw a travel card and see what happened, and then buy stuff off of a list. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to get kicked out of the saloon or not be able to drink anymore. I don't know. It just... The city phase was too much for me, and we actually got to the point where we finished that, and then we had to go, and I have never set this up to play the city phase, so we had just stopped there, just because we didn't do it. You could probably skip it a little bit, I guess, but that's not, like, I don't know, I tend to be a completionist too. I can't just go and be like, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Like, I'll be like, oh, I have these actions, and I can do this up until the nighttime, and so I'm going to do that and then rest here, whatever. It just, yeah, city phase ruined it for me. I would love just a dungeon delving one that's less RPG, actually. Though, I don't mean that in, like... I still want stats and levels and abilities and skills and, mana or whatever it might be. Just all the other junk, I guess. Okay, so let's see. That's 5, 4. This is 3. Number 3, Starcadia Quest. You guys saw my review for this. You saw how frustrated I was for it. I begged this game to be over. I was so sick of this game. It's dumb. So, it turns out every problem I had with Starcadia Quest, just about, was solved with Arcadia Quest. But they streamlined it. By streamlining it, I mean they made it stupid. And so now it's thematically unimportant. It's narratively a mess. I really... I am a visual person. That's why I play board games and not D&D. If I just had a paper where somebody drew on stuff and then I had to imagine things, I have other things to do. I'm come from a video game nerd. Very much that was my passion. I discovered how cool thematic board games can be with all the pieces and all that kind of stuff. I'm now into some tabletop stuff where, again, it's even more thematic, where this little grenade here, he can actually throw that there, but he's also like ducking behind this little window here. Like, I love it. I love it. So the fact that I was attacking blue tokens, but then those blue tokens could attack back. I didn't even know what I was attacking or why, but I had to get it. And then it's so messed up that it just is a mess. There's no... Games in general need some way to control how long they are. Even Warhammer, as long as I can take, it's 5 turns and you're done, right? Or, Blood Rage, where you go through and then it's like, hey, you have the 3 acts and you're done. There needs to be something to where there's some kind of limiting factor, because what you don't want is, or just... you get stuck in a limbo. And that's what we got here, where I would pick up a objective and take it over to my place, but before I got it, I'd get killed, and this person would take it back to their objective, and then I kill them and take it back to that, almost to where I need to take it, and they'd take it back and almost to where I need to, and it happened over and over and over again, for like an hour and a half, extra, just that one part. Dear God, kill me now. This was so frustrating. Beautiful minis, loved the style, loved the art. The objectives are terrible. The narrative part is terrible. The dumbing down of everything is terrible. It's actively... there's some bad parts of here that I hated. So, away it goes. Again, back to way too much. Way more than the core. All kinds of expansions. Never gonna play them. Number 2. Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. I played this once. It was bad. It's a roll to move. There you go. It's trash. No, I'm kidding. Well, I mean, I am and I'm not. Roll to move is actively not a good idea. Pretty much in general, my opinion. It's a very dated mechanic that can be thematic in different ways. And again, I don't want to imagine in my head that I tripped over a rock as a level, 12 hero, and that's, or the protagonist of this whole story, and that's why, like, I hate that in movies when they're running away and they trip and then they can't get back up and they screw. That's stupid. It's stupid in movies, it's stupid in the game too. And anytime you can roll a 1 every single time for your move, it's stupid. Additionally, most of these, like this game, where the roll to move just happens to be what you land on. It's Monopoly, but crappier. It was boring. There's no strategy. Anytime it's roll and whatever you happen to land on happens, there's no... The most important strategic thing you can choose here is whether you go left or right. Boring. Pretty cool minis though. And the storage is like garbage too. Like, I guess there's actually storage, but as you see, stuff still falls there. That's number 2. I don't have much to say about that. I played it once. I'm never going to play it again. The minis are cool. The theme's cool. Roll and move sucks. Number 1. Now, number 1 is a game I have actually reviewed. A long time ago, actually. And come to think of it, I might need to rewatch that review and see how nice or kind or mean I was. I don't know. I like to think I've grown as a reviewer. I hope you guys agree with that. If you are some old guard here that have seen some of my older reviews, I like to think I'm better at it. Maybe not. I don't know. I may have to go check it out. Don't watch my old videos. They're crap. They're filmed badly and they're done badly, and it's bad. But Fallout: the board game by Fantasy Flight Games is stupid. Where to begin on this? Anytime you have an IP game and you fail to capture the IP, I think it's an automatic fail, right? And this does not feel like an RPG. Anytime I can talk to a random person and they're like, go find my lost son, and then some other person who never talked to them can find the lost son randomly in the wilderness and complete an objective, it makes no sense. So the objectives inherently are broken, just based off that. It makes no sense that this was a competitive game to begin with. It should have been a co-op. There's no multiplayer in Fallout anyway. And so you're not going around, unless you do their crappy game as a service style game out there now that nobody cares about. It was a 76. Yeah, no, don't play that either. It doesn't make any sense that you would mess up so much to where you'd make it a competitive game to begin with, and then make it to where anybody can complete any part of any quest that happens to be available, whether you've talked to them or not, or whether it makes thematic sense or not. Like, why would they follow you if you're just randomly there and you have no context? Or it's stupid. Okay, so all that's stupid. The randomness is stupid. It's not even... The fact that it's competitive and then not balanced is also stupid. If you play the Ghoul and you play mission... There's only 5 missions this whole thing. I think it's mission 5. There's like radiation everywhere and you're supposed to like get to this place, but the Ghoul doesn't care about radiation, so inherently he's better than everybody else. You can lose this game before you even start it because you can essentially... You pick... which symbol, one of 2 symbols that you're going to follow, right? And everybody picks that in secret. But the problem is, if you're playing 4-player and you're the only one that picked that one and all 3 of the others picked the other one, that is going to win almost every single time even if it doesn't win, you are at a disadvantage to get it to win. So it just inherently, you are worse out than everybody else in the game based off of a random secret selection at the beginning. I said in my review, so actually I remember, I think I was pretty good in this review. I said in my review, I would rather... all 4 people roll a die and cover the result in a cup, so you can't see the result. Go play an actually fun board game. Come back 3 hours later, reveal whoever rolled the highest won. You get the same satisfaction of playing this. It's a bad game. Don't buy it. And don't buy their expansion that supposedly fixes it. I don't want to be an alpha tester by backing this. You know how hard it was to find this? This was a gift for my wife, sadly enough, and I had to drive all over I had to go to like a GameStop to go even find this. It was like half an hour away. Like, it was dumb. It's a bad game, and I don't appreciate Fantasy Flight Games selling bad games and then hearing the feedback from the beta testers. I mean, people that backed it, their consumers, and then selling them the fix. They did it with Rebellion. They did it with this. It's bad. Plain and simple. This box right here, not a good game. Did not like it at all. It was bad. All right, that's it. Now that I'm angry. No, I'm fine, guys. Look. That could be your favorite game. It's fine. It's cool. I wouldn't play it with you. But I would happily chat with you while you play it, and maybe pizza or something like that, and watch other people play it and comment about how bad that is, how bad that... I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. Guys, I had a lot of fun making this video, though. I will be doing... I'll do a top list of some of my favorite games. I don't know how I'm going to organize it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do my most played games. I think that's probably smarter, because some games you get to the table because of how easy they are, or because the group likes it, or because you're invested in, or whatever it is. There are games that I love that I've only played a couple of times. It just happens. And there are games that are only mediocre that I've played a ton. So it might be a good talking point around that anyway. So I'll do that. How about that? I'm making this up as I go. I will make a video of my most played games when I can. I have a lot of unboxings to do. I have a lot of reviews to do. I'm going to be starting on that. I just got back from vacation, by the way. Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you for the support while I was out. I do appreciate it. I do feel so much better. Getting away from 4 kids and just relaxing and not working on YouTube and not working at my normal job and just not even having a schedule was amazing. I mean, we went and did many things, but I didn't have to do anything, and that was kind of the joy of it. It was nice to not have an itinerary of a day, so I did enjoy it. But I'm back. I'm ready to start making some more videos, so I'm excited for that too. Again, if you found this video interesting at all, for any reason, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to leave a like button. If you hate the fact that I said your favorite game is bad, you can dislike it too. That's fine. If it makes you feel better, it actually helps the channel out. It's considered an engagement, so I thank you for your support. It's whatever. I'm not trying to be mean or hateful. I cannot be mean or hateful to a board game. It's an inanimate object. I could light this on fire and not hurt its feelings. So it's people that I show care to, not product. I don't care about product. It's product. That I spent good money on, and did not enjoy myself. So, if I would be interested on what your top 5 are, or at least my alignment with you. Do you guys agree or disagree with anything I had on here? Do you think I'm stupid? You guys like mandates are the single best. If I could design any game ever, it would be that you randomly get 3 actions that you get to choose from instead of being able to plan ahead. If that's like your... I should have ended this video. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I had fun, and I hope you did too. I will be back real soon with some Kickstarter news, some unboxings, some prototypes, some non-prototypes, a big game that came in 2 boxes, and some reviews. So if you're interested in that and you aren't subscribed, otherwise enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you guys again real soon. Bye.